So another thing we want to do, as I mentioned, would be a shape replicator. That's the FX shape replicator, which is right next to the foliage replicator. And we'll do the white pine this time, just like I was starting out to do before. And we go to Inspector. And it works very much the same way. Make sure we're inspecting the correct thing here. White pine, there we go. And our shape file is where we select the shape we want to use. And here we have our white pine 01, and our sharp trees pack, and there we go. So right now they're all pretty much the same size, and we can change that. We can add more trees. Don't really need that so high. Here's where we did change, do we want to allow it on statics? No, that means we don't want it actually growing on top of our wall or our houses. And on interiors, that's the interiors, so we don't want it growing on the interiors either. We only want it on the terrain. You can change these things. You can make it so it never grows on the terrain and it only grows on water. You can change whether you want it to follow the angle of the terrain or if you want it to always be vertical. All these settings are in here. Trying to find my minimum maximum. It's the radius of the area that we have set. Our shape minimum scale. Now the other one you noticed we only had a single number. Here we have 3 numbers. This is because our shape is a 3-dimensional object. It's not a 2-dimensional object. So the flowers are 2-dimensional, but the shapes are 3-dimensional, so we have an XYZ. So right now we have our minimum is XYZ 111, and we can do that 0.5, 0.5, 0.5, so that's a fraction. And we can change this to as high as high as you want, really. You could put 100 in here, but I have found that it helps to not have such a broad range. If you want a really wide range, it's better to do a set of small ones, a set of medium ones, and a set of large ones. So we're just going to do 2, 2, 2, and now we have quite a wide range. And you'll see what happens. Sometimes you'll end up with a 2 on the width, but a half on the height, and you get some really strange looking shapes. And this demonstrates why you sometimes want to have smaller range of variety. You can also have the same thing happen. You'll have a half width and a 2 on the height. Looks like that might be an example of one there. It's really skinny and tall. So that's how those work. That's how you get your trees in there for the forest. There are many other things we can do. We can paint the terrain. This is how we... oh, I forgot to turn off those purple lights. Let me turn those off. Inspector, come back here. After a while, you don't want to watch those flashy rings anymore. They don't give everyone a headache, but they give me a headache. So you just turn off Show Placement Area and Apply. And we go to the Foliage Replicator, Enabled, Show Placement Area, Apply.